And hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, it's so
Hello.
exciting to have everybody here. uh, yeah, we got about 6 folks in the chat so far, which is exciting.
Nice. Hi,
Hey, hey,
everyone.
Hey,
Oh,
yeah, say hi, everyone.
thanks for taking some time on your Friday, Saturday for you, Katerina.
Yeah,
I
thank you so
know.
much, Katerina.
It's
Katerina and I have
okay.
spent so much time together lately.
Like I was like, how long ago was it? Oh, just 2 weeks or so.
Just 2 weeks. I feel
Just
like
2 weeks.
Katerina brings the energy no matter what time.
Well,
Even
Katerina,
at 7:30 a.m.
Even at
and
7:30 a.m.
Well, and let's talk about just like how much energy. I think maybe Alex has both of us beat when it comes to energy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
guys are
it's
talking about
Dan.
the Builder Summit in LA, right? I'm so
Yeah,
curious to hear how that went. It looked great on LinkedIn, so
it
congratulations on
went
that.
it went phenomenally. Like we had just the best turnout. Some of the coolest people, like some of the greatest names and minds. Matt Dorr. Um, uh, I'm here. I am just going to remember Matt's name and forget everybody.
Just Matt. Matt was there. Some
Just
other
Matt. Like
people
that's
as
all that
well.
really matters.
Nice.
But really, it was really incredible to have, you know, almost, 2.5, like 2 full days of people, community members sharing the things that they had learned.
Hmm.
And especially, I think Katerina and I really enjoyed the opportunity to have so many people come and share what they were doing with Forge.
Yes, that's so great. When
You
you
know,
have, I don't know, just like that community feel and people talking about what inspires them and things that they've actually built and things they've learned, like that's incredible. Katerina,
oh,
what was,
Katerina, you're
oh yeah.
muted. You're not muted in here, but I can't hear you.
But you could hear me earlier.
Oh yeah. Yes,
Now we can hear you.
now we
There, you're
can hear
back.
you. Katerina, what was your favorite thing about Boulder Summit? If we have sound, if it will cooperate.
It just did it again.
I think my favorite thing was like really like how committed everyone was to learn. Like because
Hmm.
at some point I was like, like we have a lot of workshops, so but everyone stayed like for the entire time, even if like we weren't so strict with the breaks. So times like we were
You gave
kind of.
them coffee, right?
Yeah, but there was coffee, but we didn't really give them time to go and get it. Um, so and still, like everyone was so focused, so committed to get to the end of each one of the workshops, and for me that was so inspiring to see.
Yeah, that is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, thank you so much for coming to the clinic today. Um, I started this, I guess, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and then was like, wow, there's a lot of things happening in my life. I can't always do them. And I had Lena on for a little bit with us regularly, which was really neat. Lena Ortiz. And then, I'm trying to bring in uh, more folks from Atlassian and more folks from the community to share what they're working on. And the biggest part of this is always going to be helping people with the problems that they're having so they don't have to wait or like go put something into the developer community and hope somebody responds. Um, we need to get it. What we really need to do, I would love to do, is get a bunch of folks who are as committed as the community members are to be champions in the developer community because I see so many questions going unanswered sometimes from people. Because a lot of our developers, they're working full time. They're focused on the applications that they're building, in that space. And so I'm really excited about this new opportunity we have to bring more folks who are like our admins and folks into this, Forge community. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, 100%. I've been in the ecosystem for about 4.5 years, and I think one thing that really stands out to me is how much solution sharing there is that goes on. I mean, definitely like could be more in the forums, it sounds like, but like people are just so excited about like what they've learned and built and ready to help, which is great.
Yeah, I just saw a post today from everybody's favorite Atlassian developer, Remy. But he was telling, as they're figuring out what they're going to do because of because every one of their apps ends up doing a bunch of integrations with other tools.
Mhm.
They sort of was like, how are we going to deliver these apps in a way that's sustainable for us? And he put the whole process on how they did that out there.
Yeah, that level of
You know, It's-
transparency is really exceptional, I think.
yeah, you don't see it as much in other communities, I think. So I
No.
really love this community and this group. So, Karen, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do
Yes.
in your role?
So like I mentioned, I've been on the ecosystem team my entire time at Atlassian, which has been about 4.5 years now. I sit on our product marketing team, and Forge is the product that I work on. So we have a few different functions that sit under ecosystem marketing. We have marketplace, we have strategic partnerships, and then I'm really focused on our developer audiences. So growing adoption of Forge, helping our community learn about all of the great new Forge product launches that are coming out. I also work on a lot of our developer events and campaigns like Codegeist, which is happening right now. If anyone hasn't signed up already, like they're such a great chance to like stretch yourself, experiment, and potentially win some cash prizes in the process. And I also work on Developer Day and Atlas Camp as well.
Are you going to be in in Bellevue?
I am, yes. So next week I will be in Bellevue at Developer Day. Excited for that.
I guess one of the things that I keep probably making the mistake of doing is hosting events here in Los Angeles, so that Atlassian doesn't have to plan them in Los Angeles.
LA events are a whole thing for sure.
They really are. Like it's such an experience because we have to find every single piece of things that we put together. And then Katerina, can you share sort of who you are and what you do? Most people probably know you.
I'm not sure. Also, like when you were saying like the mistake I make, I thought it was like not sharing the links. So
Oh.
I've been sharing a couple of links while we were speaking in the YouTube channel. I don't see them here in Restream. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure
think
why.
that's natural. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to reshare them, like they are there. So what do I do at Atlassian? So I've been at Atlassian for a long time. So it's been over 10 years, just a couple of weeks over 10 years. And yes, I'm working on my bobblehead, but like with
for
my
anyone who
hair,
doesn't
like
know, there's a room of when you work at Atlassian for 10 years, you get a bobblehead made that looks like you, and then it goes into a room that exists in the Sydney office, where I stumbled upon this room the first time I visited the Sydney office, not realizing what it was. And you open the door and it's just like bobbleheads of employees. You're like, what is this? This is creepy. But congratulations, Katerina.
Thank you. Yeah, and even if you leave, your bobblehead stays there. So, like
Yes,
like
forever a
there
part
is
of
like
you stays at Atlassian.
so, and around 5 years ago, I joined my current team, which is developer advocacy. So, developer advocacy, like the nice way I like to put it is that my job is to talk about Forge, like in all kind of ways. And then there is like the goal is to try to enable others to understand it, see the benefits, see the value, and also help with technical enablement.
Dan said that he assured that it was not Atlassian's take on voodoo
Yes,
dolls.
no nefarious purposes.
No. So maybe next time, like I'll get to share mine because we get one for the office, but one like to keep at home.
Yes, feel like you should
wonderful.
display it
Yeah.
somewhere prominent. Yeah.
And I mean, everybody, you all know me. I'm Brian. We're now titling me the Atlassian Wizard. So maybe this will once change to the Atlassian Apothecary instead of the Atlassian Clinic. We'll see, because Alex is already Dr. Jira. Um, but I just love Atlassian stuff. I've been in the Atlassian ecosystem for about 20 years, um, and just really find I think Forge exemplifies a lot of what I love about Atlassian platforms and products, which is there's so much that you can do in different ways. You want to run your like restaurant on Jira, you can, and you can write a Forge app to help you do it. It's that sort of like just incredible flexibility that I think has been true of the platform from the beginning, that I think is really cool about both Atlassian's tools and also Forge, making it so much. And I think the other part is Atlassian tools, I think, have always had a pretty good, like, you can get in and just use the things you get and
Mhm.
understand, and then you can grow from there. And I think that Forge has that same sort of thing, because you guys have really focused on abstracting away a lot of the complicated pieces of development and hosting and everything like that. And while like really experienced developers might be like, "Oh, I wish I had all of the control," a lot of people are just looking to be able to get their idea out there and start using it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it's that sense of like kind of infinite possibilities that's really exciting and keeps things very fresh working on the ecosystem team.
Yeah.
I
And
see
there
that
has been a
Mary
lot of
said,
evolution as well. So, things have been changing significantly, but in a good way. And we keep releasing new things and working on new things. So, yeah.
it's true. And speaking of that, like, what are some of the new things that are happening in Forge right now, or that have gone out pretty recently?
Yeah, I can kind of take a first pass at this. I know, like, when I first started working on Forge almost 5 years ago, like, the way that I would pitch it to people is that Forge is like the serverless app development platform for Atlassian. And I feel like at this point, the platform has really gone so far beyond that. Like, at this point, we have not just key value storage, we have like full-fledged SQL database, object store is coming. We kind of have like that full menu of like compute primitives like available for developers. And then at the same time, Forge is now able to customize some areas of our platform that truly like would not have been possible before. I think one of the really exciting ones is teamwork graph extensibility. That was a big
Yes.
topic at Team. I mean, like, when you break down kind of like what teamwork graph is powering within our platform, it's like all of those experiences that you have in Rovo, in chat, in dashboard analytics, all of that is possible because teamwork graph is like mapping like all of the relationships between those data objects. And we've opened that up through Forge. So now developers can pull in external knowledge and data, which really, I mean, it just creates so many possibilities for the kinds of experiences that can be surfaced to customers.
Yeah.
So,
Katerina, anything you'd like to add there?
Yeah, I think on my side, I'm super excited about the MCP server for Forge. And you probably know about this, right? Because I've been talking about it like quite a lot recently. Um, I'm also working on a blog. Like, I was hoping to be able to share it today, but it's still under review. So, but Monday I'll be sharing it. So about like what's so the Forge MCP server is an MCP server that you can use in your AI coding assistant. So like if you have like Cursor or like even VS Code with Copilot, or it's even enabled in RoboDev. So it can really help you building your Forge apps, but not just building them. Like you can go from the like explain me a Forge app. So if you have like maybe like if you're starting from a template but you're not really sure how it works, like it can help you to dig into that, understand how it has been set up, and then from there take it to okay, now adjust it and help me build what I want to build. And for me, it's also great with troubleshooting. So if something like isn't really working as you want it to be, like something I usually do is like, hey, can you help me with the troubleshooting? And then it guides me through that in a way that makes it like so easy and approachable for everyone.
I agree. I think that MCP is really important because one of the things, and for folks who don't know, MCP is the Model Context Protocol. Was created originally by Anthropic, but has become sort of a standard across the board. And what it is it's effectively tools in a loop. So it's a way to call tools and then loop them to get the information that you need. And then what you're doing on the other side of it is effectively there's some set of knowledge or information that you want to be able to provide to the LLM. And one of the things that is currently true is that there's not a ton of like open source Forge code out there. So Atlassian providing the Forge MCP server means you're getting the developer docs directly. You're getting the best practices from the Atlassian team straight away. And so that's informing your code because ultimately LLM agents only know what they know.
Yeah.
And so this is providing additional context and information for them to be able to do that.
Yeah, I've been playing around a lot with RoboDev and using it to build Forge apps before the MCP was available. So I'm really excited to go back and see just how much better that experience is. It sounds like you've had a lot of success with it, Katerina.
Yeah. I've been like, so actually the announcement came out while I was at the Builders
Yep.
Summit.
Mm.
And like I couldn't resist from trying it. So the very first evening before the event started, I was like, oh, like, no, I need to try it right now. Like I can't wait. So I think I ended up going to bed a bit too late because of that. But yeah, it's working way better than just Copilot. So or like any other tools that was available. Like before without like the added knowledge, like especially like on the manifest part and like the ability to add features to an app. So because like previously the tools they were doing an okay job when it was about like the coding part, because in the end, like there are plenty of examples out there about how to code certain things, but the Forge and the Atlassian specific knowledge wasn't there.
Yeah, I had a similar experience where like it did really great on certain parts of it. And then when it came to adding, say, permissions to the manifest or storing environment variables, it was like a little bit stuck. So that's great to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think that's another great example here of what's important about Forge, which is Forge uses pretty standard technologies in terms of what's in the world today. So Node and React, like one of the reasons that the RoboDev could do so well before on things that were not like a lot of the pieces was because it was just like, how do I write React code or how do I write Node code? It's the more specific Forge pieces that were the issue, and that's what the MCP really adds. And I know I'm very excited to dig in. I'm currently in my why don't I build my random other tools phase with AI. So I recently just built a website that lets you bring in RSS feeds and then apply filtering to them, and then output different RSS feeds that only have the filtered episodes that you want.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a thing I listen to a lot of podcasts on Patreon, so they'll have like a bunch of different things in the feed, and sometimes I'm only listening to this story right now. Or if I'm like, I want every podcast across all of the podcasts I have about team, right? Then I could do that and get that sort of a thing. And now I'm working on one to share people easy links to Restream, actually, guests, because it's really hard sometimes to share with people because it's a static link when you're in a session. If you post it in the chat, then all of the bots will come after you.
Yeah, the best projects come out of like an actual problem that you're experiencing. We were in a workshop the other day, and one of the dev advocates, I can't remember if it was you, Katerina, or somebody else, somebody asked like advice for how to get started with Forge. And the advice was pick something that is a problem that's in front of you that you are motivated to solve, and then figure out how to build that thing. You know, it's so much better than like a hypothetical use case, like, so, you know, something that helps you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think like I saw a comment by Dan as well about like the improvements when building Forge UI, and I think that's another great point. Like if you're using just like an LLM without the Forge MCP server, like in the past I used to get a lot of standard HTML being added to my apps, and that's not really going to work. While with the Forge MCP server, you are avoiding that. Yeah, so it's giving you like UI kit suggestions instead of just like HTML tags.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So so one of the other things I'm always interested in is what's on the horizon. You know, what's coming that you guys can talk about that people might not generally be aware of, but would be really exciting for them to know. I'm wondering if Katerina's going to be able to show what it looks like to vibe code an app in Studio. I don't know if she's allowed to share that yet.
Yeah, I'm afraid not.
Yeah.
We still need a couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah, we're getting close to the EAP. There is a wait list for the EAP. I think I gave you that link, Brian. I don't know if we want to share that with the chat.
Sure.
But yeah, if anyone is eager to be one of the first people to get their hands on it, you can definitely join that wait list, and it'll be opened up soon.
Absolutely. And what else we got? There's a bunch of developer stuff that's in EAP right now.
Yes.
That is, I think, really interesting, like Forge Realtime.
Forge Realtime is a very cool one. I was really glad that we got that out before Codegeist, because I think that that's such a great feature to play around with and build like some really cool experiences in your Codegeist app and in general. That is a really nice one.
And what is Forge Realtime exactly? Like, what does that do for people? Katerina?
Did you want to go, Karen?
Okay, there you go. All right.
I can give like, I mean, as the marketer, I can give like a maybe not entirely technically perfect answer. I think of it as like, it's like WebSockets basically in Forge. Like it's the ability to do kind of like real-time experiences without having to like refresh the page because information is being sent to just create those more like natural reactions in your app. That's how I would.
I think one of my favorite examples of what real time can look like is the indicators when other people are reading pages.
That's a great use case example. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like something is going on behind the scenes, and you know that's able to be reflected like in real time on the page.
Yeah, it's or when notifications pop up.
Exactly.
If a notification pops up, that's also sort of real time. So, and it has not been possible before. It's been very much just you have to always refresh to get the new information. So I can imagine like some of the current like demo apps, like the weather app, and the way that could just update regularly would be really neat.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, without a refresh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really nice one. One that we were talking about quite a lot at Partner Accelerate and Team is the ability for apps to install into both Jira and Confluence.
Oh yeah.
So this is a really cool one. There have been workarounds for this in Forge for a number of years, but like there are a lot of use cases where you might want, you know, data or interactions like happening between like two different Atlassian apps. And I think that this is part of just like a broader way that we're thinking about the way apps work on our platform in general. Like instead of kind of that one-to-one relationship of like an app installs into Jira and it gets, the installation context, which gives you data and, the permissions that are set up, like the app needs those resources from Jira. Why not let the app install directly onto the platform? And then from there can connect to Jira, to Teamwork Graph, to Confluence. So it's kind of a big shift. It sounds similar on the surface, but it's actually pretty major.
Yeah. I think a lot about being able to provide the same information across multiple surfaces in
Yes.
different sort of contexts. So how I might show it in Jira would be different than I would show it in Confluence. But instead of having the big part about not having to have two apps to manage.
That is another
And
thing we're hearing from partners in the EAP. There's like a consolidation that happens. If you have a single app, but you have like the Jira version and the Confluence version, there's kind of a missed opportunity to provide a more unified experience.
for customers, it's an easier sell to say you're getting one app instead of two.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, here's my question, Katerina, what should we build today? Why don't we do a quick sort of build something with folks? We can do it two ways. One of the things we often like to do is ask folks what they're struggling with, and then we can sort of dig in and work with them on something, and see if anybody has anything there, because that's my favorite part about the clinic, is just that opportunity to sort of chat with folks and hear what they're struggling with and maybe what they're looking for. I will remind folks, this is a great opportunity to give feedback to these people who have the
Yeah.
opportunity to take it internally and add. And Katarina's literal title is, besides Forge Queen, is developer advocate.
Yeah.
So her job is to
Exactly.
advocate for you all.
Yeah. Yeah, what should we be building today? What I was thinking, like I wanted to show. So I shared the link with you yesterday. So the module finder in the
Oh
UI, which
yeah.
yeah, so I'll share a link in a second. But like it was like my Friday afternoon, and I was waiting for my blog to be published, and I was like, "Ooh, I really want to send out something today." So, and I had that in my to-do list, so like, from like the past couple of months of traveling, like I have like a couple of things that I want to get done. And I said, okay, let me just like do a quick video on this, and like actually so many people were interested into that, and like
Oh,
my
that's
video now is
amazing.
so bad and I feel ashamed for that. I was like, really, okay, I have 30 minutes before I need to go somewhere. I need to start enjoying my Friday. Let me put out something. And yeah, like it looks like there is interest, and like people wanted that. So that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. So maybe we can start by showing that, and
Yeah,
then
that'd be
get like,
great.
and then maybe like, maybe like our attendees here can get some inspiration and can tell us like if they would like to explore any of those functionalities further.
That sounds great. All right, so what I will do is go ahead and move to you should be able to share your screen here, I believe. Should be able to hit screen,
So you
I
want me
think.
to share?
Yeah, if you'd like to. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Let me just open.
Oh, he's here.
Like,
Our Forge keynote is here.
oh, hi, Matt. Yes. So this is what I wanted to do. That's right. Yes. So this is window. Okay.
Add to the
You
scene.
should,
There we go.
yeah.
And then I think what we'll do is, I think probably Karen and I will go into hiding so that it's easier Unless I can make different. Oh, I can make different shapes. Look at us.
Ooh,
Yeah. Oh,
that's
nice.
fun.
Yeah. So we are
And maybe we can be on
saving.
the side. There we go. That's the
There we
best.
go.
Right
Yeah,
there.
that is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn our names
Um.
off temporarily now. There we go. Wow.
Easy. Learning new features every time.
Yep.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about. So the Forge UI team built this, like, and I think they released it maybe like a month ago or so. So, and it's an app that is available. It's actually on the marketplace here. It's a free one, and it allows you to find directly in your Jira site where you can add extension points using Forge. So, I mean, you can see the entire list of the extension points on our documentation, but sometimes it's just easier to go and check it and see it directly in the UI. And this used to be available in data center as well. So yeah, let's see how it works. So I have a site here, which is this one, and I don't have that installed. So let me just go and make it available. So let me go from here and install it. Yes. Review. Get it now. Also, like, if you try it out, like, I highly recommend not to do it in your production site. You probably don't want to start adding a lot of options everywhere in your production site. So just keep it on your development site, or if you have a sandbox, on a sandbox, but probably one that, like, where you have access and not many people are having access to, unless they know about this, but not where your users are connected. So cool, it looks like it is installed. So I'll go back here. So, and the way it works is that it's going to show us like these little icons showing us where we can add extension points using Forge. And this is actually the name of the module. So it's here. And if I click on it, so this opens this panel, and it
Oh,
also
okay.
gives us like a link to the documentation. So from here, I can see directly the documentation, which
Oh, wow.
explains us like all the options that are available. Yeah. And
This is so
yeah,
nice.
like in the same way, like we have access to, like, we can see like here it added this panel that is the issue context. Yeah.
So I guess what I'm not going to do anymore is build my little app that I was going to build that brought all of the Forge documentation into the Atlassian platform, because it's now been built effectively, at least for the UI piece. That's great.
Yeah.
That's really wonderful. I
Yeah.
mean, I was gonna build an MCP server too for documentation, and then you guys got it done. It was really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Like, it feels like, we are doing what's needed. So yay.
Yeah, one of the things I've always been asked, Katerina, and I don't know if this is possible, but if I'm looking at, I think it's in the backlog view,
Mm-hmm. Okay, now, like,
and
that sometimes, like, you need to guide me here. Yeah,
okay,
okay.
yep, there you
This one?
go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you hover over one of these,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Uh,
where is it? Does it
Anywhere
gonna do the thing?
particularly?
I think it is. I'm gonna go over to where the points are. Oops.
The points? Yeah, more action.
Ah, there we go. There is where is this? Let me see if I can find it too. There's some place, and I forget. Maybe I forget exactly where it is, but it'll show an overview of like the story points. It'll like pop
Mm-hmm.
out the information a little bit. And I had somebody that was asking me if there was a way to add another piece of information in there. So like I have the company I work for now, they use two types of points. They use story points and QA points.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to figure out a way how to make both show up in the hover. Of course, we have to figure out Jira backlog. This is my secret, is I just Google things.
I feel like the most universal dev tool of all.
Harrison.
Yeah.
Harrison said the three dots under the sprint title by the user circles. Let's see.
Okay,
Okay.
the three dots under the sprint title.
Right
This
there.
one. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes. I'm assuming there's no extension point for this.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Now, one of the things that I've thought about is this itself, though, is the backlog view is in fact a particular type of Jira module, right?
The backlog one?
Yeah, the backlog view itself, like it is one of these like project page modules, right?
Like, I mean, it is, but like from Forge modules, like, and this is like the way I usually go, when I want to if I want to look at it from this perspective. So these are like all the modules, and I think you were thinking about, like, you were mentioning the project page.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
yes, it is
so
a project
yeah.
page. Okay.
Yes, so that's a project page. And then if we look at it from this perspective, oh, here it's actually like, yeah, like
Yeah, the
it's not
extension.
showing here like as a module. So yeah, I'll give that as well as a feedback. Anyway, yes.
Okay, so then theoretically, here's me. You could rebuild, like if you really wanted to add that, what you would have to do is rebuild the entire backlog view.
Yeah, yes. I'm not sure if I would really do it, though. Like, I know it, like, I mean, it depends, right? It sounds like a bit of an effort. So
Yeah.
maybe you could just be building like a simplified version just for that
Mm.
information, right?
Oh
Instead
yeah.
of the entire rebuilding the entire view. So you could
That
just be like, you could have a project page that is just showing
that
the additional
information, right?
information, but
Okay.
like, yeah, just focusing on that view. I mean,
That
technically
makes a
it's
lot of sense.
feasible, but like it feels like a bit of an effort to me.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Of course, the other thing I think about is UI modifications, and if there's
Hmm.
like, where are the UI modifications? Oh, so are UI modifications? Do they use the extension points or?
Um, so UI modifications, they are actually not a, a real extension point, like not in the same way as like it like. And when I say extension points, I usually mean like, additional UI components that you can add.
Hmm.
And while UI modifications are more about like controlling a certain pages, like the issue create, the issue view, the issue
Oh, right. There's this very
transition.
specific ones right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in
Mhm.
particular, they are there like to allow you to control like which fields are selected based on certain conditions, which options are available for certain fields, um, based on things like with the project, the issue type. So it's not about adding some items; it's more about controlling what's visible on the screen.
Got it.
Right. So the
Yeah.
app that you're demoing, Katerina, like it's really like what are the like UI spaces that have been carved off for like developers to customize? Is that like one way to think about it? Like what are kind of like the customizable zones?
Yeah, yes. Like where can you add features and the UI elements to the
Hmm.
Jira UI?
Yes. But as Brian mentioned, there are a lot of modules that do things that are more back-end logic versus like specifically like here is a zone that you can insert your content into.
Yeah.
Right. You guys have not given us access to every single thing,
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah.
which is I think one of the big but I think that's one of the things. Um, yeah, that's a good. Oh, Matt. Okay, the UI. Matt is saying he is talking about this whole thing. He is saying this: you go to the UI item of interest and poke around looking for the Jira colon asterisk app text to click on. He said could do with being a bit clearer in the docs. Yeah, I think this is the. I will just say we all know that Atlassian's documentation is perfect and fully fleshed out and so detailed. Um, because there's so much time for people to be writing documentation all of the time. Is one of the things that I think is the biggest thing that I have noticed over the past several years is the velocity of shipping at Atlassian has just increased so significantly. You know, and that's been an experience I think for people.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, I think
'cause-
Yeah.
that that's accurate. And I think what you're kind of alluding to is like there are a lot of benefits to that. We're making progress really, really quickly, but it is a lot for people to absorb sometimes too, and making sure that the documentation keeps up.
yeah. Oh, Gregory just asked a great question. He said, "How many of you have extended JQL with Forge versus using an add-on like ScriptRunner? Groovy isn't the greatest language." It's true. And actually, Katerina, you and I briefly talked about this.
Yeah.
But there are very specifically now, Atlassian, you guys have, um, you have a module for this exact thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually haven't played with that.
Yeah.
okay.
I haven't either, but this has been out for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And so it'll let you define a JQuery function. And then I think one of the interesting things about the JQuery function that you'll do is you do have to do you're often doing pre-compute in the background to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that what you have is up to date. Oh, wait, that's probably a button that's only for you. That's why. Okay. I saw the edit this live button up here.
Oh, everyone doesn't have that? Just
What?
kidding.
Yeah, no, I don't think you have
And it's
it.
funny because we were, I think, at the Builder Summit, we were talking about, Matt was telling us that there was a time where Atlassian actually allowed like community members to submit changes to documentation.
Yeah,
Which
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm down with it. Put it all on GitHub. Let's go.
yeah. I
You
think
know,
Matt
or
was talking
Bitbucket.
about that.
Yeah, yeah, Gregory. It's a great option, and I believe, in fact, there is a demo JQuery function app, I believe, too. So you can. That's one of the things that I think is so important for folks to know, which is you can. Atlassian has done a really great job of creating example apps, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys continue to add more and more and more.
Yeah,
And
Katerina, can you click on the example? Could we see it?
yeah,
I think it's
Yeah,
there on the right.
yeah. Here it is.
Oh, okay. Is it?
does it have
Yeah.
a?
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. The
Trying to
example
find
is
the.
yeah, like
It's just an
just like
excerpt.
yeah.
I'm gonna go check here. Forge example apps, Jira. I thought there was. Well, if not,
I'm
that's a
not
thing we
sure
can
if
do.
there is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is absolutely. If you go to Jira and then go all the way to the bottom,
Ah. Oh wait, yes,
sub
there it is. I see it.
subtask of.
Okay. Now I don't know where I'm clicking. Oh, this one.
There
I
you
found
go.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
So the code,
Okay.
we can go directly to the code, Gregory, and we can see exactly what's happening here.
Okay, so let's start from the manifest. So
Yeah.
that's mine. Yeah. So in our manifest, we have our JQL function here. And then this is the function that is being linked. Okay, which is function subtask of. So which not here.
Oh, oh yeah.
Because I
Function dot
copied the
subtask
whole
of. Yep.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is the one. Yep.
So here's it's building the function. And the other part that's really helpful, is the comments that they put in here. And I mean,
Yeah.
Katarina, this is a great example of where we could clone this and then we could ask RovoDev to
Yeah.
explain
Yeah.
it to us.
Yeah, we can try that. So
Yeah.
let's see. Yeah. So I copied this link. Then let me just go here. Okay, now I need to stop sharing so I can share my entire screen. And I'm sharing this one.
Oh, and the README is written
Yep.
really well here too. Wow.
I love a well-crafted README.
Oh my gosh, truly.
Okay, so now it's opening here. Okay, but that's not what I wanted to open. I wanted to go in our function here. Yeah. And this might be a bit too small, but I'll, like this is probably okay. The other one was a bit too small. So the way we got our MCP server to work here. Oh, I'm not sharing.
No, you're not.
I think you might need to approve it because
Oh,
I can see it on a
yeah.
restream.
Okay,
Yeah.
what happened here? When new scene 2, this should be the one that. Oh, I see. Here's what we need to do. We should. Oh no, where's this? Why? Why is it being weird?
You want me to stop and restart?
You should just. What's weird is you should just be able to do it. I mean, I didn't see the request. So try. Yeah, stop and. Oh, I see. Hold on. I see your. Ah, okay. I got it.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Real-time
now on this
troubleshooting.
very funny background too. So there we go.
Okay, so the way because I do demos about it. So there is a way to set up the MCP server so that it's always enabled. But I still go in and set it up every time, and mainly for me that's so I can show it to you. I can show to you how to do it. But you probably want to set it up so that it's always enabled. And I'll just show you. So the way you do it is you need to create a folder here that is called .vscode. So that's where you'll have your properties of VS Code. And then in here, you create a file, which is mcp.json. And all what you want is to copy what's in here. So different tools will have different formats. But for me, because I'm using VS Code, this is the one. And then I just paste it in here. And then I also need to start it. Yeah. So now we have our source code here. So does anyone want to suggest a prompt, or should I just go with it? Oh, I can hear dogs.
I mean, why don't we ask it to explain the way how the function works?
how the function works.
Yeah, in function.js. Yeah.
In function.js. Okay. So the other thing that like so maybe I'll like I'm not really good at reading things like, in front of
Sure.
everyone.
I can read them.
I always find it weird, more than anything, you know. I'm like, what is this? But yeah, so do you want to read it?
Yeah, I
It's a
mean,
bit
what I'll
long,
do,
like
what I will
yeah,
do is just point out that here, what it does is it breaks down. Oh, we lost your screen
sharing
again.
disappeared. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
it breaks
it's done.
down the flow of the work. There we go. Add to the scene. What? I did it
No,
again. Why?
doing it
Okay.
again. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Add to the scene. Yeah. Okay.
And then I need to go back here.
Okay. And then I'm gonna put us over on the side, and I want to maximize this. Okay, there we go. That's fine. Anyway, um, yeah. So what it does is it breaks down how the main flow works. So it'll, it'll call out each piece. So sub subtask of args is the entry point that does the work of extracting the subquery and operator from the clause arguments, and then calls evaluate function. And so then just walks through each piece. And so one of the really helpful pieces here, one of the really helpful things is that it just will explain to you how each piece of this works. And you can, if you want, even, for me, I really like sometimes to see information in context.
Mm-hmm.
So a prompt that I might give it is can you like overlay this on like a diagram for me?
Yeah, that's something like yeah, I was going to suggest that. So what I've been doing as well is like so I've been asking to generate sequence diagrams.
Ooh, yes, I love that.
Um, and I also like to see them in ASCII because I think like at some point it was like it decided to do it in Mermaid. And I was like, yeah, like I'm not sure, like that's exactly what I want, like because it's like reading it in the text editor, like or in here, it's not like so straightforward. Um, so this is like what it did. So it's showing us that it's starting from the JQL engine and then executing the functions, and then it's also telling us the Jira APIs that are being called. But now because we started, like we asked about the function.js, it's specific to that. What I would like to do is like to do it for the entire app.
Yeah.
So that we can get the entire flow, like starting from the manifest, right? Maybe because it doesn't look like it picked the manifest. So let's just ask again. And this is like, something that like you need to be okay with, I would say, that like you don't always get the answer right or exactly what you wanted the first time, especially like if you didn't tell it what you wanted. But even if you do tell it what you want, like it's not always there.
Yeah,
Oh, this is actually
you have to learn how to like prompt it really clearly. And sometimes you even need to tell it like reference the Forge MCP or what the tools are that are involved in the MCP.
yeah, exactly. We'll get to that. But so I think in general, like maybe because like I got a bit lazy because I know that I can iterate, like I don't start with a prompt that is very specific. Like I do a first pass and then I iterate on that, like asking for asking more specific questions. And when you're asking like the follow-up question, you don't need to repeat the entire question and add the additional parameter. It still has the context from the previous conversation. I want to include the manifest in the diagram so that I can understand the full picture.
And I see the agent that you're working with here is Claude.
Yes. Like I haven't been testing like the differences between them.
Yeah,
So I'm not really sure, if there is like a better one or how they compare. This is the one I've been using for a bit of time, though. Yeah.
gotcha.
Did you try any other?
I mean, have I. I mean, Katerina, let me tell you, I have a
Yeah.
subscription to basically all of these. Um, I do use Claude and use Sonnet a lot most of the time. I haven't had a chance to play with the MCP yet. I'm interested in doing some of this exact stuff that you're doing with Rovo Dev and see what is
Mm,
what is the flavor that Rovo Dev gives.
okay.
Since I know, like, what I don't know and what I'm really fascinated to know is like what choices did Atlassian make when training Rovo Dev
Yeah.
that might be like that are there any particular differences that you all the processes that you took because you knew that you were going to be providing it for people who also like one of the neat things is that Atlassian is not like other companies here. You
Yeah,
have
Mm,
a platform, a developer platform that people are going to be using RovoDev for.
yeah.
exactly. And I think one key difference is RoboDev has access to Teamwork Graph. So it like
Ah,
Mm,
has that like platform context that you might not have with kind of like an off-the-shelf coding assistant. I think it would be really interesting to do kind of like a side-by-side experiment to see just
yeah.
what happens.
Oh, Dan,
and
yeah, Dan points out it does depend on what you're doing too.
Mm,
Every week it's another company that's got another thing that's come out. That is the new thing that's on the top of the charts every time.
yeah.
It's really fascinating how quickly it all changes.
so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Okay, here she's back. There we go. It just
Yeah. I don't know
disappeared
what's
before.
happening. Yeah. Um, so oh, I clicked somewhere. So yeah, so here we can see that it also included oops. So I mean it also included, I wanted to start from here. So like
Yeah,
in the application flow, so it included our
how it
manifest
works.
and
Yes.
yeah, and the function that we are calling from there, and how like it's even starting from like the user query
Yeah.
and how that then relates to the manifest and then the functions that are being triggered there.
And
That's
safe to say, we would definitely not be getting this level of detail if we weren't using the Forge NCP server. Yeah.
Mm,
no, absolutely not. And it's such a the other cool thing is now at this point, if you want, you could say, well, what I'd like to do is change it
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to run this type of like I want to have a different function that is collecting a different set of information.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that it knows all of this stuff, especially because you asked it to do all of this, it's now in its context.
That's a really good tip. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're not just understanding the code base. Now your assistant is as well.
Yeah. Like, do you have any suggestions on like what we
What
can
is something that
ask?
let me think about what is something that people always struggle with? Let's see.
Yeah, and maybe like in the meantime, like I wanted also to show you that like it's not just this flow. So this is like the flow of the query execution, but then there is actually the flow of the issue create. And
Oh
what's
yeah.
happening here is that when an issue is created, it's like so there is another so this is an event. So this is a product event that the app is listening to, and then it's calling a function based on that to check if this new ticket, this new issue that has been created or work item is of type subtask. So, and it's also like checking when issues are updated, right? Because like your JQL, like your advanced JQL function also needs to make sure that the data that it has access to is fresh. And this is done by making sure that when issues are created or when issues are updated, events are sent to the app, and then the app responds to that by updating the storage. So we like we are seeing a couple of modules and functionalities here already.
Yeah, that's really cool. Because it puts all of that into right. And what it means is it's going, all right, here we go. We're prepping for the next time that somebody actually checks and runs that query.
Yeah.
So I've got one for you, Katerina. What I did, shout out
Okay.
to Adaptivist. I went to the Script Runner blog and
Okay.
asked what are and look for the blog that talks about the top 10 scripted JQuery functions. And actually,
Okay.
one I think is really interesting is return issues based on a comment query. So you might be looking for, like, an example that they gave here is you might use a JQuery function to see a list of issues that contain internal comments from the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's change the function, or maybe let's do like let's add another JQL function.
Sure, that works.
That searches for internal comments.
Well, or we could say that's just that we could say, if we wanted to genericize it a little bit, we could say that returns issues based on a comment subquery.
Okay. And what do you mean with comment subquery?
So the subquery is going to be what am I looking for in terms of comments? So normally that would be my main query, right? Commented, there's a comment. Give me, I mean, the idea here is that what it's going to do is, okay, there we go. Yeah, defines issues based on comment content. Okay. So right now what it will do is what it's going to do is work on finding issues based on the content of comments. Now what you might do is then you say, well, I'd also like it to not just the content, but some of the metadata, right? I want to include the date or the visibility.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and like I think as we are talking, like the good thing is that like it knows more than I do, right? Because Bryan, you have like a lot of context, and like as I like to say, like I'm not a Jira admin, so like sometimes why did it?
I don't know.
It does it on its own.
It's like it's on a timer. There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, it's picking up the context, like even without. I
It's
don't know what's
hilarious.
going on. Like I'm not touching anything.
I know.
There. And let me switch back to this. Yeah, so I think one thing to note is that I'm using VS Code with a Copilot in agent mode, but there are other modes. So
Yes.
the reason why you see that the files are actually getting modified, so this green part here is what's being added, is because I'm using agent mode. I've been looking into the differences and I've trying to understand, why I shouldn't be using agent mode, and I'm not sure, why I shouldn't be using it.
Would you like some information about that?
Like maybe if you want to share them
Yeah, I
with
think
everyone. Yeah.
I think one of the reasons is that sometimes I mean there's a couple of reasons. One might be because your company has a policy about the
Mm-hmm.
code itself not being written by agents. And
Okay.
so you will ask it about how to make a change, and then you can make the change yourself. You can valid. That's the other reason, is just because sometimes, like what I do a whole lot these days, and I use Claude, and I will do it in the Claude app or in Claude Code, which you can also add to VS Code,
Yeah.
is use the learning styles. They have response styles, and one of those response styles is learning.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can say, I want to add this, but I'm not really sure how. And then it will create
Okay.
a scenario that will
Mm.
walk me through how to do it and ask me questions to validate my knowledge.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
wow.
that's a cool one. Yeah, I think like in my like I understand the policy stuff, but like in my perspective, like I'm usually like just do it, do it for me, like so and I
Yes.
yeah, so the thing is that like I can ask a question even in agent mode and it's still going to respond. And I could be like, if I don't want something to be changed, like sometimes I just leave it in agent mode and I say, don't change
But
anything for
yes, you can
now.
do that too. Absolutely.
Yeah, just explain what you are going to do.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I guess ask mode is like when I really want to make sure that it doesn't make changes.
Right.
Yeah,
Because sometimes the
yeah,
AI model will just decide it's going to go make some changes,
yeah,
even if you
without
tell it not
prompting.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hmm.
even if you tell
Oh,
it not to, sometimes it'll be like, well,
Yes. It's so helpful.
okay. I want to really help you. So, like, even if you're
Yes.
telling me not to do it.
yeah. So now comment. So now this currently uses. So now this will show what you can do, which is, um, I, it has a comment matches function. So at this point, um, yeah, you can use what's in there effectively, like the actual content. And like I said, we could add other things. Like I'd like to be able to get the dates of the comments so that I can use those dates, or the state of the comment, is it internal or external.
Hmm. Should we
But
try?
what's also really smart, I mean, yeah, go ahead. But the other part here is what you did. Oh, Dan made a good point. Edit mode is usually quite targeted, where you might need help refactoring a table into a CSS grid. So like it's a
Mm.
very specific request of what you're asking it to do.
Okay, so
Mm,
like,
that's a good distinction.
mm, okay, yeah. So maybe let's try this. So I switched to ask mode. So since we were talking about this, um, the ability to search for date for the date of a comment,
Yes.
and I've switched to ask mode so we can see what it does. Oh,
But instead what it does is it puts it right here for us. Oh
yeah.
no, it still changed the file.
No, I don't think it's
Or is
changing
that
Oh,
them,
okay, that's the
right?
old
previous?
one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
got it,
So
got it.
yeah, I didn't accept the change before, so that
Okay,
like
okay.
it's still like showing. But yeah, I think it's like I don't know why it's saying like I'll add. So that sounds
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
going to do it.
If
But
you like these changes, can you just ask it to implement them?
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it
so I
does say
think
what was added still. It
Yeah.
yeah, so I wanted just to show that like this is the part that it is suggesting to add.
Okay.
But it actually didn't change it. So because it would be
I
up
see.
here.
and this is,
Yeah.
and I mean, and the cool thing here is that there is uh
And it's showing us how to use it in here as well. So
Microsoft
I
has a
think
document about how this works too, so that we can always use. There it
yeah,
went away again.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So like usually I think like if I'm in
Oh,
agent mode,
I got it.
if
Don't
I'm in
worry.
agent mode,
No, nope, it went away. Why?
yeah.
Okay.
If I'm in agent mode and I say like don't edit, like it's usually going to ask me at the end if I want to
Okay.
edit.
Nice.
So while in ask mode, it's not even suggesting it. But I think like I liked the other thing that Brian was saying about like guide me how like the learn mode guide me how to do the changes myself step by step.
Yeah, that is that's a feature. That may work just fine too, actually. Asking it that
Yeah.
way, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I thought Dan's
Yeah.
comment was really interesting too about agent mode being more objective driven.
Oh, right. Like
Mm,
this is the objective
Yeah,
I have for you.
exactly.
okay.
Like it's kind of more like I mean, yeah, like a pair programmer, I guess.
Mm,
Ah,
like
okay. In Ask mode, if you hover over the code, you get three icons, getting you what to do, um, allowing you to do it for you, allowing it to do it for you. Oh, I see them right there. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, and then
this
there's a couple other icons right
no,
there.
I
These probably
think
just
yeah,
like put in
like
the code.
three
Yeah.
icons.
Apply an
Apply in
editor.
editor,
It's
inserted cursor, copy.
okay.
Okay. But you see, like when we change the prompt, so now it's telling us like add this, while
Mm-hmm.
before it was actually, so if we compare the manifest that it gave us at the step
Yes.
before,
It just
it was
yep.
like the, sorry, where is it? Sorry, it's a bit long. It was like, this was the manifest before.
The whole
So
manifest, right?
it,
Yeah.
it, it was the whole, like the whole manifest, yes. So it wasn't really standing out which part was added as part of this prompt iteration.
Yeah. One of the
Yeah.
things that I think is really true for a lot of people is it is more how to work with the agents
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
than, oh, I don't have any idea of what to do with them. It is that AI, like the way that you communicate with AI models is so very different than you might necessarily sometimes communicate with people.
Yeah.
Depending on how you're working with them. Other tools like I know that like Rovo Dev has like a deep planning mode in its server mode which and I use plan mode a lot in Claude Code to be like go do some research and then come up with a really detailed plan of the way we're going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can get it to put that in a file and then I can say we're going to go through this step and then come back and do this step and like it's not that different than working with people. The difference is like with people you can just say, oh, we're going to do all of these things and then they will like separate them out and do them individually. Sometimes if you tell an LLM that you want it to do like 5 different things, in the middle it'll get just very lost about what it's supposed to do because it didn't sit down and break it down for itself.
Mm,
Mm. Yes.
yeah.
So kind of like guiding it through the process. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
you really wanted to have fun, Katarina, I was just thinking we could add uh playwright probably as a so one of the things that I also really love to do with these tools now is ask them to write tests or write from a testing perspective.
Mm,
So I'll
yeah.
start by saying write failing tests and then build your code afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
mean
that's
sometimes they will lie about the tests and just like fake pass them.
okay.
But you
Um,
still get further, but then also like adding playwright will then let you once you deploy it, you can have it test the UI side of things too for you.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good like point because like like in our templates we don't have tests, but yeah, you probably want at some point, like especially if the app like starts to be like a bit substantial, to have your tests. So let's see what this is doing. I'll
Katerina,
help you
I know
at
this
that.
was like an older repo that we cloned, so it doesn't have an agents.md
Ooh.
Oh,
file. I
the
wonder if that makes a
agents.md.
difference. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely set instructions in that agents.md. That's what they will use every time to sort of follow.
Mm-hmm. And now, like when
Yes.
you create a new app using Forge Create, it automatically has a pre-filled
Ooh,
agents.md for you.
I didn't know that. That's very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I can show you that. So I think I have my terminal still here. So, and this is,
All right, I'm preparing to hit the add button.
yeah, there.
Oh, I missed it. It went away too fast.
I had this issue like like not me but someone else like because like from the because I'm connecting from the like I'm streaming from the browser.
Yeah, I'm gonna move this to
So
the other side. There we go.
maybe they call it like that. And I think I can just do like any let's just do like something
I'm
like
really
an
excited
automation
about
UI.
automation actions too. I have to work on that. Like I
That is a really cool one. Yes, going back to our earlier conversation about new Forge features, that one is quite cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that
for anyone
actually
actually
who,
came out.
oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I have one. Oh yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah.
I have one that I built a really wacky automation with Susan Waldrip, one of our community champions. Oh yeah, wow, look at this. Look what it automatically gives you here. Wow. That's
Yeah, so
so
this is
cool.
yeah.
Debugging. Oh, that's so good. It's another great example of just all the stuff that you're getting when you use Forge without having to do it yourself.
Exactly. So you're working better with AI agents and assistants
Yeah.
right out of the box.
Yeah.
That's really great. Um, but I built this wild automation that basically uh, she has a drop down list of options that when there's not one that is the right option, people select other and then then they get the opportunity to fill in a text field with the right option. So what she was having to
Mm.
do was then go back and like scan through these requests, and when she found one that had that, then she would go take that one and then go put it in as a new option, and then go back and find all of the ones that had it in the text field and clear it out and update them to the new option. And so I built like in automation natively using the REST APIs to do this, but
Hmm.
building an automation action to do this that basically, it would have to have a couple. I mean, like you could do it for that one case, but like basically, you could write an automation action that basically takes the input of like two fields, and then you're effectively comparing like does this field have the option, like does this field's option exist in the list? If not, then
Mm.
update it and then go back
Mm.
and clear it out.
And Bryan, remind me, is this using like the rovo action module? Is it the same one, whether you're
No,
doing a rovo action or an automation action, or no?
that's a good question. I think they're two different ones. I was currently just using like the create web request action
Oh, okay, got it.
to actually use the REST API to pull the information to be able to hit the custom field endpoint. But
Mm,
Yeah.
putting that into an actual automation action would be a lot easier. You could
yes.
use a Rovo
Yeah.
agent action too. That might be interesting as well. I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the cool thing is now, like
Yeah.
when you create a Forge app that has a rovo action, that shows up in Studio for anyone who's building. So they can use that action like in a really modular way, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Rovo action. Yeah, there are two. I think the Rovo
Okay, got
action
it.
thing
Yeah, this one.
is a particularly interesting one for people to remember. People be like, well, what do I want to use a non-deterministic agent for in an automation action? But what I think is really interesting is the opportunity to, like, when you're working with text or when you're doing analysis, right? It's those pieces of things. Like if I'm not acting on a single thing or a predefined batch of information, the agent action is particularly good for like giving it a set of criteria
Mm.
and then letting it match the sort of things when the criteria is expressed as natural language.
Yeah.
Right, what we got? Who's here? Who else said something? I'm just checking the list here. Oh, after using AI for a while, you can ask. Yeah, that's a good point, Dan. Huh. After using AI for a while, that you can ask it to give you suggestions on how to work better with it for the sorts of things you do most.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah.
It's like full circle.
Sometimes I get so
Yeah.
terrified. I'm like, am I just going to be stuck talking to an AI forever? I have to make sure I keep going to see people. I stayed up late the other day working on my app. I was just like, whoa, I'm going to have this podcast thing. And then, of course, it's like, well, what if I want to make it available to other people? You know, like all this crazy stuff you start getting into. Yeah. This is so cool. Thank you both. We're basically at time. But I would love, like, if folks do have any particular questions, we'll take just the last few minutes. If somebody has a question about whether something can be done, or if there's an issue that you're having, we can at least point you in the right direction. This has been really wonderful. Yeah. Oh, Dan made a good point about migrating a table from custom UI into Forge UI. Like, I want you to do this. Go figure it out. And the working iteratively part is really good. Dan, is that yes, you have a question, or just yes to something I said? I don't know which. Oh, Gregory said we are real. Okay. I forget how long the delay might be. That's good. I'm glad you all are real. Gregory, I want to see your JQuery function that you build now that we've showed you how to do that. While we're waiting, I will toss out one other thing that I think is the most exciting thing that's coming next. And I would encourage folks, there's a couple of links that you can always hit to find out what Atlassian is working on. Ooh, Dan asked a great question. What might be being announced at Atlas Camp? Why do I have a feeling that he's not going to get an answer?
Well, I mean, we wouldn't want to spoil any surprises at Atlas Camp, but I will say we have a lot of great progress to share on some of like the things that we've already announced at Partner Accelerated Team. So you'll be hearing more about Teamwork Graph, about Studio, about apps that run directly on the platform. You're also going to hear announcements from other developer-facing teams at Atlassian. So announcements about software collection, Rovo Dev, Rovo in general. So we're bringing together like really everything that's exciting for technical audiences and builders at Atlassian. So there's going to be more to find out about this year, I will say.
When are you guys going to run an Atlas Camp in the US too?
I can tell you this soon. In a couple of months, we're going to have an Atlas Camp in New York. So we can share, those dates are now public. We have a landing page that we can share out. But we are not just going to Europe. We're coming to New York. We're coming to India. So Atlas Camp comes to you.
I am like just so thrilled right now because I have so many hotel points and so many airline points.
Oh, perfect.
And I have been like, I don't know what to use them on. Well, now I do.
I did a search. It looks like the last time that Atlas Camp was in the US was like Half Moon Bay, California, in like 2011, I want to say. I don't know. Maybe Dan knows the exact year. I suspect maybe some people on this stream were around, but it has been a long time since Atlas Camp has been in the US.
So one of my favorite things that you guys did recently is that you So you built this public roadmap.
Oh, I love this. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it too, because that it lets me see what's being worked on, what things I love the under consideration, which is really interesting because it's like, what things are you all thinking about, even if you haven't necessarily decided yet. Um, this is the one that I'm really excited about, and it's actually also
Mm,
being built now,
yes.
which is
Speaking of Atlas Camp, we are going to have a lot more to say about this in February.
and the reason I think this is important for people is for Gregory. As a great example, Gregory is a lapsed Python dev.
Hmm.
One of the
Yeah.
limitations has been that you have like to get on board with Forge, you have to learn a new language.
Exactly.
And when
Yes.
you can write, if you can write your backend in Python and just run it in a container,
Exactly. Yeah. If you can run it in
Yeah.
a Docker container, then you can run it on Forge.
yeah, like that's really, really powerful. I keep harassing my partner to start getting into building apps. He's a rocket scientist and a software
I
engineer
mean, he sounds
and
pretty
doesn't
busy.
currently. Well, but yeah, but he doesn't have
Yeah.
a job right now.
There you go.
So I'm like, just build some apps, and then people will hire you because you can build apps.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that encouragement.
Yeah. So this is I really recommend this. I recommend the community.developer.atlassian.com. Any improvements coming to CDAC or anything?
It's a good question.
Mm, yeah.
We are just kind of thinking about ways that we can better engage community champions in general. So I expect we'll have more to say there. But in terms of like the forum itself, I don't know that we have anything
Yeah, I think
coming
it's
down the
always
pipe.
interesting that it lives so separately from everything else.
Yeah, I'm curious to get your
Mm.
thoughts on that. Should we reunify?
Well, I would say we should. Um, I think what I think is particularly interesting is some of the incredible benefits of discourse in terms
Yes,
of its
Mm.
structure and the way that it operates. Um,
exactly.
are
Yeah.
really powerful that I think actually like main community could really use and enjoy. Because
Hmm.
the number of times I hear people begging for replies and threaded comments
Mm.
on main community is like huge. Um,
Yeah.
so I think there is opportunity there, and I'm really excited. I mean, listen, you know that I can be your very first call, or maybe your second, like after Dan. But like when you guys are ready to be like, we are having specific developer community champions, I'm ready for
Mm.
you. Like I'm ready.
We've got your number.
Um,
Yeah.
you do because being a developer is the other thing. I'm just going to do my little pitch here. One of my favorite scientists today. Her name is Kat Hicks. She is a psychologist for software teams. She recently worked at the Pluralsight's Developer Success Lab. And
Hmm.
one of the things that she talks about a lot is the way that traditionally being technical has been gatekept. And one of the things that I think is really powerful about Forge and the way that Atlassian treats all of this is that they don't hide the ability for you to learn to do more complicated things away.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And you work really hard to make things easier. If you script, you're a developer. If you write apps, you're a developer. If you are an administrator of, like we're all technical, and we shouldn't let people say that we're not technical just because we work in different ways than other people. When we think about things in different ways, it's all problem solving.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Well, thank you both so much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank
This was really
you.
fun.
Also, I'm going to give
Yeah.
one shout out here. Everybody who's an admin, update your apps.
Yes, PSA.
Update your apps. Your poor developers who are making these apps for you in the marketplace are terrified sometimes to make changes because so many admins don't update apps.
Plus, you'll enjoy
Yes.
all of the greatest new features for those apps. So
Exactly.
it's a
And
win-win.
And it's really okay.
Yeah.
It's so much more okay to do it in Forge because of all of the checking that things go through and like the security that's in place. So like you're not going to have to run into the same sort of issues you might have run into on data center or server.
Yeah.
I've
Very good
decided that
point.
that's my new thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a website called Update Your Apps.
Yes, important pause.
It's literally literally going to pull the marketplace API, the new V3 API, and like let people. I have to figure this is the app I'm going to build. Let them
Yeah.
basically install this app, which will then read which apps they have installed, and then like I'm going to figure out how to make it very annoying for them to know when it's time to install an app, update their app. Because yeah, update your apps. Well, we're here every Wednesday and Friday, and also probably starting, not this Monday, but next Monday. I'm going to start launch. We're going to be doing Marketplace Mondays, where we dive into different marketplace apps and take a look at what's out there in the marketplace.
Oh, I love
So
that. Great.
every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12:30 to 2. Wednesdays is our general clinic where we'll just hop in and build things and work on questions that you have. Fridays we do the same thing with Forge, and Mondays we'll be doing marketplace stuff. So you can always find it here on my YouTube channel, or also you can check it out on ace.atlassian.com and go to /learning, and that takes you to the community-led classes. And developer.atlassian.com is where you find all of the stuff for the Atlassian developers stuff.
Exactly.
Including everything about Forge.
Yeah.
And one day I'm going to have slides for all of these things. We're not there yet. I'm going to have a website even.
We'll get there.
But I can't call it the Atlassian Clinic because I'm not allowed to have a URL that's called that.
I see. Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much, folks, and have a great weekend. Oh, Gregory, thank you so much for I love this. Gregory said, "This is awesome. I'm geeked to re-up my street cred from today on."
Yeah, thank you. No, yeah, and like I love the conversation in the chat as well and the engagement. Sometimes like we don't get anyone talking to us. Well, this was awesome. Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out with us. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to hope to keep having more of the folks from Atlassian on whenever they're available. Katarina, again, thank you so much for coming on a Saturday for you.
Yeah.
I think next I'm going to get you all to help me get Adam on. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of folks that I think would be really fun to have on. So we're going to keep working on doing that. But thank you all and have a great weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.